One of the NFL's most feared names has been linked to the Eagles, and of course the internet lost its mind. Meanwhile, a forgotten face in the league has suddenly turned heads during Philly's preseason workouts. While fans dream of big-name reinforcements, there's a player making noise from way off the radar. Things in Philly are far from predictable right now, and there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than it seems. Hit that like button and check out the latest buzz from the team. Alright, here's the lowdown. NFL style. Another day, another All-Pro hits the rumor mill and, what do you know, the Philadelphia Eagles name pops up as a possible landing spot. It's like clockwork at this point. This time it's Steelers superstar TJ Watt, who's reportedly not too thrilled with his current contract situation. Now, that's got the NFL world whispering about a possible blockbuster trade if things don't get smoothed over in Pittsburgh. CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin decided to stir the pot a bit by listing 5 teams that could make a move for Watt. And surprise, surprise, the Eagles are right there in the mix. He basically said, don't ever count Howie Roseman out of the big game hunt. The logic? Philly's obsessed with dominating in the trenches, and with longtime edge guys like Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat out the door, sliding Watt into that lineup would be, well, a defensive dream come true. Imagine lining up against a front with Watt and Jalen Carter. That's a quarterback's worst nightmare. Plus, Watt would get to stay in state and keep repping the Keystone State. But before Eagles fans get too excited and start photoshopping Watt in midnight green, let's pump the brakes. The reality is, this isn't happening. Philly has made it crystal clear what kind of offseason they're having, and it's not a flashy one. Howie Roseman's been playing it cool, keeping the wallet closed and the roster young. That's why they didn't re-sign Sweat or Milton Williams, and it's part of the reason they moved on from CJ, Gardner Johnson, Bryce Huff, Darius Slay, and James Bradbury. It's all been about trimming the fat and planning for the future, not making headlines with monster trades. As great as TJ Watt is, and make no mistake, the dude's a walking gold jacket with 7 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pro nods, and a DPOY trophy, his price tag is enormous. He wants to reset the market for defenders, and Philly just isn't about that life right now. They're already preparing to drop bags for Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis soon, not to mention young studs like Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Reed Blankenship could be knocking on the extension door in the next couple of years. So yeah, Watt would be incredible in Philly. But Roseman's not about to empty the vault for a guy who hasn't been part of their homegrown core. The Eagles didn't go big for Jalen Ramsey or Jair Alexander. Why would they suddenly switch gears for Watt? Fun to imagine? Absolutely. Likely to happen? Not even close. Could that big-name star really end up in Philly? Drop your take in the comments. But hold up. The most surprising name in camp is coming from way out of left field. Let's talk about one of the quietest yet sneakiest storylines brewing in Philly heading into training camp, Danny Gray. Yep, that Danny Gray, the 2022 third-round pick from San Fran, who barely saw the field with the Niners and has exactly 1 NFL catch to his name. But according to ESPN's Tim McManus, this guy might just be cooking up a serious comeback in midnight green. Now let's be real, nobody's touching the top of the Eagles' wide receiver room. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are as elite as it gets. Jahan Dotson's expected to round out that trio again in 2025, just like last year after Philly scooped him up late in August. So, barring another out-of-nowhere move from Howie Roseman, those 3 are locked in. But after that, it's wide open. And that's where Danny Gray is making noise. McManus called him Philly's biggest surprise this offseason, and for good reason. Gray's been flashing that legit 4.33 speed during OTAs and minicamp, burning defenders deep and across the middle like he's trying to prove a point. And maybe he is. Injuries and bad luck wrecked his run in San Francisco, but now he's healthy, hungry, and gunning for a shot. The Eagles added him to the practice squad last year after the Niners waived him, and it seems like that fresh start may be exactly what he needed. Because now, he's battling for a spot on the 53-man roster. And he's not just jogging through drills, he's torching defenders and making plays that turn heads. Of course, Gray's still got a hill to climb. He's competing with guys like Aeneas Smith, Avery Williams, and Terrace Marshall, all of whom bring different flavors to the table. But if he keeps up the explosive plays and stays healthy, Gray could absolutely leapfrog his way onto this roster. Philly needs depth behind its big 3, and a speedster who can take the top off a defense never goes out of style, so don't sleep on Danny Gray. He might have been an afterthought in San Francisco, but in Philly, he's got a chance to rewrite his story. Training camp's going to be his proving ground, and right now he's got the spotlight. Philly's betting on youth and surprise, not proven trophies. Whether it pays off, time will tell. But some guys are making the most of their shot. Subscribe now so you don't miss a thing from the Eagles.